Hello, my friends, and welcome to your February Taroscopes. This is for the earth signs. There are other videos for fire, air, and water, so go ahead and check your sun, moon, and rising for a more complete picture of what you can expect in February. So we're going to start off with Taurus, and then Virgo, and then Capricorn. So Taurus, my friend, you get your card of the month is Judgment, and your rune of the month is Isa. So this is an interesting combination. Judgment is that, like, I always teach, when I teach tarot, I say judgment, no judgment, because we have the word judgment is the assessment of like good or bad, like it's kind of limiting. I like to think of judgment as like awakening. So February is going to offer you a lot of those moments of clarity where you're like, oh, why am I doing it this way? Or like, I know what I really want. So it's this real sense of your soul, like the truest parts of your soul, just like rising up and then seeing your life very clearly. And instead of being like, that's good, that's bad, that's great, I suck, or like those judgments, you're going to see like, that works, that doesn't serve me anymore. Oh, I'm ready to employ more of these methods because that's really who I am right now. So I'd say it's really an opportunity for a heightened level of authenticity at like spiritual and soul levels, not just ego levels. So it's a great month. February is a lot of like awakenings for you. Now with Isa, Isa is the rune of ice. So this is stillness. So it's not necessarily the month to like charge ahead with what you've realized in judgment. I think the whole month is actually going to have like realization and clarity and awakening, kind of just like over and over and over again, all of this blossoming for you. And Isa wants you to sit with it. So Isa wants you to reflect on it, right? Like ice can be kind of a reflective surface. And ice is also, if you think about a river and you can't cross the river, and yeah, you're like, well, there's a bridge. Sometimes there's no bridge. So I like to think about Isa as showing us pathways that we couldn't have crossed before if there was no ice. I see Isa as, well, the river is frozen now, so you can cross it and go to different places that you wouldn't have gone to had there not been winter. So if there has been a little bit of like a winter of the soul or something in your life that's felt frozen, I actually get the sense that this is the last bit of the stuckness. I get the sense that judgment is going to give you all these ideas, awakenings, realizations. You can see clearly what's working, what's not working, but not in like a fearful or like overexcited way. It's just going to be a lot of blossoming, opening, and clarity that comes your way. So Isa is just really asking you to reflect upon what comes your way, and then also to think, well, now things that weren't working, how did those create pathways to things that will? So there is really opportunities through what has been stuck are going to be coming up for you in February. So just really allow this blossoming within yourself to unfold. Sit with it, explore it, think about it, learn about yourself, become more self-realized. And then I get the sense more in March, it's where there's going to be more of this movement. Excuse me. Speaking of winter, it's like so dry here. Okay, Taurus. So good luck. I'm excited for what you're going to learn about yourself. Now, Virgo. I'm a Virgo, so I'm going to feel you on all of this. Your card is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is like, real smart, calls it as it is, sees things very clearly, but also Alga's reversed. Okay, so here's the thing. I really believe Virgo actually is one of the like truth seers of the zodiac signs. I think that Virgo, because the name Virgo is based on virgin, and virgin doesn't have anything to do with like who you've done like who you've been with or anything like this. It's more about the purity of yourself. You're not defined by your partner. So virgin could, one of the translations is unmarried. So it's this idea that you are very authentic. You're defined by who you really are and not by someone else, which would then extend you're not defined by someone else's morals or someone else's societal mores or blah, blah, blah. So it's this real sense of authenticity. So Virgo in alignment has this real potential to be so truly authentic and then to also see things very clearly. Now, this works for and against Virgo because Virgo also has a lot of self-doubt. So what I see with the King of Swords is that this is a good month for you to sort of realize your mental prowess, and not in a cold way of just like amassing knowledge, because knowledge is great, but it is a tool that can be used for harm, right? There was knowledge that built, the atom bomb, wisdom would have stopped us from ever doing it. So I think for you, Virgo, your February is really going to be a month of understanding your philosophy on life. And it is going to be you using those mental powers of authenticity and seeing through BS, and being able to think higher, big picture things. Like, I just sort of get the sense for you, Virgo, that there's like what society says, right? There's whatever society says this, and the news says that, and social media says this. But I think for you, you're able to see so much more than what's just being said. You can understand what's not being said. I think you can see a much bigger picture of what's working when it isn't. The key for you is to not get too stuck in just logic or knowledge. So remember, intuition is actually a part of wisdom. So Alga's reversed is like, if you get too cold with it, this isn't really the best way to move ahead in February. Alga's upright is like the protection rune. It's a rune of like intuition, and your spirit guides are all around you. So I think if you move into the King of Swords with this clear, wise, no nonsense energy, yes, absolutely. You are going to be so in touch with your spirit guides and your ancestors, and they're going to provide lots of guidance and protection. But if you move too much to the side of just cold logic, then I think it might be like a cold month, like a little more challenging. This is why we do readings, though, right? This is why we do this, so that you can hear this information and make sure February is a month of like philosophy and higher learning and being so true to yourself and not being sucked into what society or whatever the powers that be want you to believe about yourself and about other people. So this is really your opportunity to pull up from that, connect to your no BS superpowers, and be a leader, right? Kings are leaders. So you could actually be a leader of thinking, of ideas that are more helpful to humanity. So more in alignment with wisdom. Okay, so that's for you, Virgo. Oh, I'm excited for what you're going to do. This is cool. And now we're going to get to Capricorn. Capricorn, my friend, the sun is out on you in February. So we get the 10 of Pentacles, which is a card of family, community, long-lasting wealth. That kind of, I know Capricorn, you love that. This is the nice home. This is the well-furnished home. This is money, not just for this month, but a long time. So this is definitely a sign of stability and abundance. I do get a strong family energy. So connecting to your family members, connecting to your community as well, absolutely. And Swahilu is the rune of the sun, which is enlightenment and joy and vitality and success. So like there's a lot of really good, it's pretty nice. So this tells me that you are going to have success in terms of long-lasting finances, like your legacy, you know what I mean? And then on a more spiritual level, think about your legacy in terms of the fact that like we inherit the earth and we're supposed to leave it better than how we found it for everyone who comes after us, right? It's our responsibility. So, this could be a literal like environmental message. Perhaps you're going to be really thinking about your home and how you live, and you're going to get clarity about like, well, I don't want to rely on like this company's gas and power bills. Like maybe I want to think about having a tiny home or something. Or maybe on the flip side, it's not literally environmental, but you might just really be thinking about your legacy in terms of like, what am I doing here? And like, what am I leaving behind? And what am I creating? What does my footprint look like? So, if maybe you leave behind really happy family, or maybe you are building something that's going to benefit a community, or maybe you create something really beautiful and artistic, and that's going to be your legacy. You don't have to decide all of it right now because the legacy is built steady. But for you, Capricorn, February is bringing in the abundance, the clarity, the ideas, and the success to think about your mark on this world. So the smaller, more practical levels, this is just a good sign for family, abundance, wealth, home, success, and all of those areas. And then in the bigger picture, it's like, who am I? Who am I in this society? How do I add to it, and how do I make it better? Because that's an important legacy to have. So, but generally though, it feels quite sunshiny. There's a lot of clarity and a lot of love in terms of all of those areas. Okay, my friends, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like your own reading, you can book with me through the link below. And like I said, check Sun, Moon, and Rising to get a very complete picture for what's coming up in February. Thank you for being here. Have a great day.